I like something that gets my heart thumping when I turn it on and just makes me feel good and smile. It's a sound and it's a feel. They feel good when they hit the skin, like it feels a certain way. It's something to wake up for. It's something to think about. It's something to do. It's something that feels useful and feels right. And I can't say other than like I just feel like I'm going in a direction that I feel called to go in. I was always riding BMX. I had my music stuff that I think my first passion was music, but then activity-wise, like physical-wise, and who I connected with growing up was all my BMX homies. And one of my friends had a legit skate park in his backyard that Dennis McCoy built, who's a pro BMXer here in Kansas City, still is. And I still didn't know what I wanted to do, but I know I needed free medical insurance because I was getting hurt on my bike all the time. And when my sister had joined the Marines, she's a year older than me. She had joined the Marines. My dad was in the Marines. In the military, though, I was definitely just a quota. I was just, you just show up and we need 7 bodies in this workshop. And that was it. And I sat around. I learned how to play cards and drink in the military, a lot of it, at least in the Marines. I was in and I did pretty well because I was super excited that I was learning all the machining and the welding and doing all that. I ended up buying a TIG welder and all the things, and I made my own bicycle frame. I made a stem and made a bicycle frame and a seat post and pegs and things. Got on the bike that I made. The very first time riding the bicycle that I made, I broke my kneecap in half. And it was like, fuck, man. All this shit that I'm on this path, like I'm almost there. I'm making all these things, and I was really getting somewhere. And I looked down and like my whole life just like, fuck you, just snapped in half, and that put me into a huge depression for a while, like about a year. By the time it took me a broken kneecap to get into tattooing. When I made that determination, I'm gonna be a tattoo artist. I am going to do this. I am gonna die if I stay in the military any longer. My soul's gonna die. When I chose to take that path, the doors just opened. The resistance went away. Tattooing gave me a sense of purpose. I finally was putting my efforts into something that loved me back.
I was working in a small town outside of Harrisonville. I was doing data infrastructure work at that point, and I started setting up. I was staying with family, so I was pocketing all my per diem. Then I was spending it on tattoos every week.
I got into tattooing, and it felt like the doors just opened for me. I was accepted. I was kind of celebrated. People really liked me in the tattoo community, and I felt like I was at home.
Dan would have me come in, I would toss an idea at him, and then the next week I'd come in and he'd have something big drawn up and we'd do it in one shot.
I see the end of time on the horizon, just knocking at my door.
When I keep having resonating ideas in my mind of this thing, I need to pursue that. I realized that I had something to offer mechanically to the tattoo community. And then in 2011, my New Year's resolution, I'm making tattoo machines. Once a week, my day off from working at the tattoo shop, I am in the garage and I am gonna make a tattoo machine. I'm only gonna make something if I find it useful. If I could be innovative and useful in an improvement upon what already exists, or something I feel is needed and necessary, something that I want to see happen. The skill set I had from being a machinist in the military, in my innovative mind, I knew I could bring some good things to the table.
We continue to develop a relationship because I'm into weird stuff as much as he is, and he likes doing crazy, weird tattoos and things. We kind of bonded over that. We were able to bounce ideas off of each other, and we came up with some really good, really great things.
So I have decided I'm trying to do a lot of tattoos these days with just a 9 or an 11 round and a type 4 or type 3. So today I have an 11 round for this for Mr. Cody Cadabra, who is the COO of my company and longtime client and a similar. When I really started focusing in on my machine building, it was exciting. A few doors opened up, and I realized when I got into making rotary machines, there's a whole wide open territory of things that haven't been tried. If your eyes are open, the thing that you're destined to do will eventually find you. Yeah, overnight, literally, like by the time a few of the right people got the machines that I was making, the word spread, and it was like I went from selling one machine a month kind of randomly to 10 a week.
He blasted out a 7.5-hour chess piece on me. And after that, he was like, "You're a pretty cool dude. You want to come and work a little bit with me?" And at first it was just, he'd call me and I'd come powder coat for him, or I'd come solder motors and he'd give me $50, whatever. And we just grew to like each other.
Within a 6-month span, they just started doing that, and then it just started just getting busier and busier and busier.
I look at how to speed things up while keeping quality. I would rather prepare on the front end, so the back side of things run really, really smooth and almost run by itself.
It was just an exciting adventure to go into that and to be celebrated finally in my life for doing something.
I would say he's the #1 rotary tattoo machine builder in the world.
I'm going to give you 7 reasons why I developed the Swift Tip system. Number 1, it's the size. Today, size matters. This time, small size matters. And little guys. So
There's just that. It's just, I have a unique gift for having a vision and pulling things out that don't exist yet, and that I believe are really useful. That becomes the fullest expression of myself.
I spend a good 2 hours a week trademark striking many different people that are not only physically copying the machine, but making something with a similar armature bar or things of that nature.
I get this idea and I'll start out on just drawing something out on paper. I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be so cool if this, and this?
I mean, hell, you can watch Ink Masters or any of those shows. Half the time, all of those people are using these machines.
I like my machines to be able to be dialed with some easy adjustment that can change the way it hits, to change the signature of the hit by changing the stroke, by changing a spring tension, by changing, give. When I make this, I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna turn this down, and then I'm gonna profile the thing, and I'm gonna have all those grooves put in, and I'm gonna come in with a tool.
We cut out this.
Met Dan about 5 years ago. I was working for a friend as a contractor, and we were doing a little painting and remodeling. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and that was pretty devastating, as you can imagine. And some friends of mine and contractors were kind of passing the hat and trying to raise a little money to help me out. And Dan came up with a brilliant idea to raffle off one of his machines for my benefit, and that was just such an amazing thing. Quite a few people joined in the raffle, and as I recovered from the cancer, Dan asked me if I wanted to come on board here, and I thought that was a pretty good opportunity, and it was to do something different, which I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I do all kind of work, so.
So I've done some stuff in here. It's really, really neat. This is like the bone pile of stuff. Some of my first Sidewinder concepts. That was kind of cutting and welding things up. So things have taken off, and especially when I created my Sidewinder, that was like, business had gone up. It's like, fuck, this is going like crazy. I almost didn't want it to go so fast because there's birthing pains, and I don't know, it was just wild.
His Sidewinder concept, that was one of his real big tickets. That's what he's really known for, is the Sidewinder, the mini cranker.
You know the song Freebird by Leonard Skinner, but some people, that's the only song of theirs that they know. And so in a way, like the Sidewinder is a variation of the Sidewinder, is the one machine that I made that everybody just latched onto. This is the one that kind of put me on the map. I am just sorting out springs that I have. These are for 46er Sidewinders here, and I'm putting them away. I have like a lot of my main components in here for my machines. So I kind of try to organize things as far as round stuff, round things and balls and circles. All this work, this whole marathon, this whole mountain to climb, just to get to a conceptual stage of a machine that I want to develop, to sometimes get the first prototype after I put countless hours in, to realize that, oh fuck, I didn't see that come in. And it's something that could take an hour or 30 minutes or 15 minutes, is now just, I'm losing hair over it. So I'm gonna try not to break anything right now and just smile.
There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with the making of each individual part and the testing to make sure that it's gonna work the way that Dan wants it to work.
I say that creating your own business is kind of like creating a monster. And eventually that monster will try to eat you if you keep feeding it.
She's got a chicken foot hanging from a rear mirror, rattlesnake on the hood. Looks kill, you know she will now make you feel real good. She's got voodoo magic and a freak in the sun. She's a man on
Business was consistent, but I had time to talk to every customer, and I was stoked for every order to come in. And after a few years of doing all that, it got to the point where I was not being appreciative of my customers, and I wasn't appreciative of the business, and I felt it was just handed to me. When I get to the point of, I think I'm there, I'm going to put it all together, and then realizing, oh shit, that's not what I thought. And then going back to the drawing board. And it's the feeling of you just got your ass kicked, like you just spent months working on the thing to get to the climax, to realize, nope, that wasn't it.
turn your sponge to wood.
I would like for him to have grace. I think a lot of times he feels as though he has to keep doing things and doing and progressing. And a lot of the times he does not rest. He's a fixated person. When he's on something, he's on it.
Making more spend nice, I'm telling you, this ain't no paper
I'm
drag.
literally creating like an armature bar, a frame, some kind of a stroke wheel maybe, some kind of special tube vice mechanism, and all these things. And then when I mess one thing up, well, that changes everything, and I got to go back and sometimes change 3 or 4 different components and reprogram 3 or 4 different components and start all the way over.
Now it's taking over.
And I always tell people, sometimes Dan's on a mission, and I could tell it just by the look in his eye. There's so much going on inside his brain, and he's trying to translate that into a computer program or on the paper or whatever. So that Dan is a little bit less approachable, so you kind of have to pick your moments.
What is it, one more time with feeling, kind of like feeling good. I know how I feel sometimes. I do prototypes, I'm on the 4th one with the stupid fucking mundane detail that I keep to get it each time. And I'm gonna get it, and then I come back to the program to realize that I never loaded the new program, and so I get the same fucking error on the back side of the spindle, and have to make a whole new part instead of just restarting the thing. And I think I got it now.
Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes I feel like I'm up against the wall, and I just have to go at it, and just like hopping in an ice bath, I know I'm gonna come out better on the other side, and I won't regret it.
Sometimes as a business owner, you wear too many hats, and You know, you have to be the bookkeeper and the shipping guy and the designer and the builder and the...
It takes a lot of self-discipline to put that monster back in its place. You know, no, I'm in charge. The business is not in charge of me. I'm in charge of the business. And I did lose myself in the whole process. And then it took me some time to really do a lot of self-work, you know, going inward to really find what's more important. And in that time frame of doing all that self-work, I unexpectedly lost my wife. I was with this woman for almost 26 years, and it was very abrupt and sudden. I mean, she had a little bit of a heart condition, and but she was seemingly healthy. It just I walked in and she was dead. You know, I tried to resuscitate her, and I was too late. I felt guilty in some sense, and I felt like, again, the biggest part is you know, I felt like I'd never fully appreciated everything that she did for me, and wasn't able to tell her that.
Having something terrible like that happen to you will change someone.
I realized that at that time when I was having that inkling, like, man, I should probably go in the house, I would have been able to resuscitate her. You know? I was at that point of like, I don't even want this shit anymore. I'm over it. I took about 8-9 months of just hard stop of not doing anything. And to come back around to realize that I still have a lot that I want to contribute, and that I do find a lot of fulfillment in what I am doing. And this is still the best avenue for me to express myself, and the best avenue currently that I can contribute somehow and feel I have a place in society, you know?
Getting the business fired up and running again. You know, I took that 8-month sabbatical when my wife passed away, and this has held a lot of heavy emotions in the shop. You know, where she'd sit over here and I'd be over here, and I'd have my other helper. You know, we'd be in this little area, and this is the one part of grief that's been hard to deal with.
I still have things to contribute here. And I still have things that I want to do, and I still have things I want to create. And so here I am.
With Adrienne's passing, it wasn't his downfall. It was almost like he's rising again.
Her death put a lot of things in perspective for me to move forward and with a different mindset.
Yeah.
I saw a post that he had made on Instagram whenever Adrienne had passed away. I felt this inherent need to say to him, like, hey, you know, if you ever need to talk to anyone, I'm sure people are saying this all the time, but I just want you to know that if you need, I am here to hold space.
She kind of came into my world being like, hey, if you need something, like, I know I'm a fan of who you are and what you've done, and if you need help, I'm here. Well, we ended up realizing after a couple months of talking nonstop that, oh shit, we actually kind of like each other, you know, a little bit more than just as friends. And but we decided that we could make things work if we chose to work on being our best self.
I feel very close to her in a lot of ways, if that makes sense. It's going to sound pretty abstract, but where I'm going with this is that, you know, she really did a lot within their relationship, and even, you know, them getting married, them being together, all of that stuff. Her role was huge in helping Dan get to where he is today, honestly.
I wouldn't have gotten where I'm at today without her.
I think he has different relationships in his life now, Aura being one of them. He seems more in tune with himself.
I'm a better man now than I was, with warm regards to her, with paying my respect to her, that I'm a better partner to my partner, and I treat my partner the way I wish I treated her.
I'm back to help push him forward.
I took the time to focus on my wellness, my well-being, and my spiritual elements of myself.
I feel like I was along the sidelines cheering him on, like much of us. And then now I've sort of been plunged into, okay, these are the inner workings of the thing. And it's made me have a greater appreciation for all the work and effort that goes into creating. So wait, did this all happen whilst I was away too?
Yeah.
Okay, that's rad. I really do. It does. It really makes me think of like Wu-Tang /
Yeah. I'll give that.
So I love that. And I love how it's also grainy too, you know what I mean?
But something about I was just figuring out with that is that on the interiors of these, I can actually shoot powder on the inside of this
Yeah.
and get that completely cleared out.
Yeah.
And then I could spray another coat in. So we could have a two-tone.
That would be awesome.
That's what I thought too.
That would be fun, and I would like be super excited to do that. For me, like, to be able to see these things unfolding and happening right now, I feel like we're on that precipice of something really grand happening.
It's like when you preparing to go climb Mount Everest, and then after 5 years of preparation, 7 years of preparation, like, oh yeah, I was gonna go climb Mount Everest, and like I'm getting to that point of like, hey, you ready to go climb Mount Everest now? So I've had that one journey, it's been a journey, and now to get to this other hump of that thing, to do the next series of innovative things I'm getting ready to release.
And I'm spending a lot of damn time figuring out how to do it in one operation. So I'm doing all the hard work up front to make it easier on the back end. And you know, that goes for life. You know, if you do all the hard stuff up front, moving it forward is a lot easier. You make your bed in the morning, it's a lot easier to go to bed at night when you're tired, to crawl into a freshly made bed. Be back into a parking space, it's a lot easier to leave when you're tired. You know, all these things, it's that mentality. If you do the hard work up front, if you exercise and make it part of your routine, you'll live a healthy life, and you'll wake up easier every morning, you know, flow through life better.
You know, achieving the things and being productive in the ways that you need to be, but also tending to yourself, because, you know, this vessel is not permanent, and you do have to take the time to take care of yourself, because if you don't fill your own cup, you can't fill, you know, anyone else's. Nervous. Hey, you didn't even. Oh, I have a bigger glass. Okay, all right. Clinky, clinky, drinky, drinky. Makes me feel good knowing that everything that is happening right now, I feel like we're on this precipice of some really big things that are going to be immensely useful for the community, and it's long awaited and long needed. He hasn't made a new machine since 2017, so it's necessary at this point. And I feel like they're, you know, as someone you know who's been tattooing for the last 17 years, I feel like, you know, we're all waiting for something new. So that's a pretty awesome place to be.
I chose to dedicate a good chunk of my life to the tattoo community, and I have a lot of gratitude for the tattoo community, and this is something I can do to contribute to something.
Before this screwdriver was here, there was a need for it, but it wasn't possible. Once it got made, now it's an easy tool that makes doing your job easy every day. It's the same thing with his machines. They've been able to take what used to be you have to focus on your machine and setup and all of this to a dialed in piece of equipment that allows you to do your job with peace of mind. So you're able to really dial it in to your specific needs, and then you don't have to go back and keep fucking with it. I really think that that's something that's been his impact on the community. That's been a big thing, innovation.
It tastes very healthy.
Dan Kubin. To be honest with you, man, he's always been driven. He's always been goal-oriented, and he's always been kind.
Definitely has a very big heart.
We don't have to take over the world. I just want a beautiful little family here. And I do feel like all of my employees and everybody working with me are part of my family, and we're all kind of in this and all helping cultivate each other in some positive way.
Kindness. He's someone that the kindness that he brings not only is to his craft to help improve and better it, but also to others, as well as, you know, to the people around him.
My perspective has been that the reasons why we do what we do should really come from a place of joy and creation, not because we feel like we have to.
Because everything I've ever done has always circled back to here. It's always come back to this.
Giving time for everything that I know I need. Just like when we eat, like a lot of us, you know, like maybe you just want to eat the fried chicken or whatever it is, but you also need some fruit in your vegetables and you know, all the other things.
I think that the whole point is that to keep creating and to keep making and inventing should really about experiencing the joy of life and just being in the flow. That's really the reality of it, from my perspective anyway.
I'm not done. I have too many really good ideas I've been holding on to for a long time.
I care about him. Yeah. Dan means a lot to me. I would say I love the dude. He's a good man.
I like to think that whatever seeds I'm planting right now and whatever kind of mentality I can positively drop into the world, that the next time if I'm reincarnated into this world, that my actions today start to paint a better future for tomorrow that I may have to live in.
Had a broken heart, time with two. They ain't no strangers feeling blue. You know, that bill's kept true, and I ain't afraid of loving you. Sabbatical, you're my friend. All the lessons I learned back then, they don't take it down on me. Fools jumping, pose Some grow wise, eventually make it. Story of my life, ain't no one taking it from me. Well, I ain't too afraid, trying hard.
If anything, I feel immense gratitude. When I grieve now and I cry, it's almost out of gratitude for what my wife, what Eddie had done, how she was towards me, and how kind and loving she actually was. And there's sadness that I never always fully appreciated that essence of her. And but I can, and I do feel like when she left, she kind of gave me some more knowingness in my heart, and somehow there's a piece in me now that I don't feel like I just have to go and just my self-worth is in how much I can produce or something, like I could literally just exist, and that's perfectly fine, just existing in life.